What's good, everybody? It's your boy 313 J-Mo here to talk to you guys about DeAndreSwift. What will he do for us this year? A lot of fans have went way off the rails and said he gonna be the best running back in the league and he gonna have 1,300 yards and he gonna make the Pro Bowl. Some fans are like, well, he'd be all right, and other fans are like, I can't trust any Lions running game. So I just want to ask and just want to see, what will he bring for us this year? Will he be that breakout player? Will he finally save the Lions with the running game and, let Stafford win? Because we all know he wins when he has the running game. So let's look into it. Okay, so DeAndreSwift was a backup for Nick Chubb and Sony Michel. That's kind of another thing. I think both of those guys would be better. I mean, I think they are better. But we don't know what Swift will do. Maybe he'll be better than them. But he were their backup. So you see the first year, 600 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. And then, but his yards per carry were good. But he was playing in a backup role. But that second sophomore year, I think that's when Chubb and Sony Michel got drafted. 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, and then, 13 overall touchdowns from scrimmage. So, and then he followed up the next year with something similar to that. Like, he doesn't have the gaudiest numbers. He didn't have the best numbers in college over some running backs, but he didn't have the most carries. Some Lions fans love that he didn't have a lot of carries. The way I feel about it is, some running backs get a lot of carries and they still be great running backs. Some don't because they have injury issues. Like Todd Gurley was injured a little bit in college, and then it transferred over. Sony Michel was injured too, but it's transferred over. DeAndreSwift has been injured, but I don't know if it's been like the likes of Sony Michel and Todd Gurley. But all in all, you getting 6 yards per carry and a couple hundred yards and a couple receiving touchdowns, and you getting his Mitch. The fact that he's a mismatch and he's a nightmare. Now, there's discrepancies with his 40 time because in the official 40 he ran a 4.48, but when he was a rookie, he ran a 4.43. So did he get slower, or was it a bad run, or like that? And I'm just thinking maybe he just got more weight on him, and he still could reach that top 4.43 speed instead of the 4.48. Those milliseconds are different, but those milliseconds is between being caught and not being caught. He ain't as fast as somebody like Jonathan Taylor who runs a 4.38. So we got to look at his versatility. We got to look at the team that's around him, and we got to look at his actual capabilities. Now, I do want to say this. First off, no one can actually predict what any player is going to do because no one can predict the future, apparently. But sometimes you can make assumptions. You can look at the football teams and you can look at the situations to find out which players will have success. Because there's been plenty of people like Zeke who was going to be a beast when he went to Dallas, or said Saquon was going to be great, or Christian McCaffrey was going to be great, and they had all of these reasons, and they looked at the rosters and they had all of these things to support their claims, but they hadn't played on the football field, so it can't be something that's stamped and 100% correct. I get all of that. But come on, man, let's have some fun, because this is the Detroit Lions, and if we get a running game, we win in the Super Bowl. Yes, you heard me say it. If we get a running game, we win in the Super Bowl. Stafford is, 10-2. One loss was the Chiefs game. The other loss was the missed field goal. When he has a 100-yard rusher, he don't lose. So you give us a running game, our defense will be better, whole team will be better, we win in the division, straight up. And I mean like a great running game. But we got to see if Swift can do that, and I'm not putting everything on Swift. Kerryon has to produce. Bo Scarborough has to produce. The offensive line has to produce. I understand that. Darrell Bevel has to produce. But so what can Swift bring for us? So Swift, he's going to bring that change of pace, that speedy back, maybe catching passes out the backfield like Theo Riddick used to do. Because Kerryon, the thing that I like about Kerryon is he runs a 4.5, and to me that's not slow. But he's not like a lightning fast person. He's not that type of back. Like, he ain't like a Odell, like a football player like or Saquon. He's a power back, believe it or not. Kerryon is what you call a power back with extremely good juke ability and balance and catching ability, and then he has some speed on top of it. It's not that many guys like that. Like I would say he's a little bit faster than Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry can't catch the ball, and he has a completely different running style. But those guys, those bigger guys, it's not like Kerryon is huge, but he's 5'11". He's a big running back. I was watching some of his runs, and Kerryon trucking people, trucking Kiko Alonso, trucking linebackers. I'm not expecting Swift to go head up with a linebacker and just knock him over like he's not even there. I'm expecting Swift to be that, for lack of a better term, Swift Army knife with when it comes to running the football, because it's about the type of routes that he's running. So he might be running some, some just basic, curl to the side and catch it in space. Let's see what you do. He might actually run some slants. And I expect him and Kerryon to be on the field at the same time. And I don't expect him to run in between the tackles. A lot of outside zone type of runs, just type of runs to get him into space. And I do think we will call some passing plays where he's like the second or third read, and we can use him that way. But I think Kerryon is going to be the balance and power runner, of course, with Bo Scarborough. And I'm not saying Kerryon is a pure power football runner. He's not. He's just a great football back. And he's not like uberly like the best in the world at everything, but he has the vision and the balance and everything. I would say that Swift isn't as physical, but he has more speed. And he has more inside burst. Like his burst and his acceleration is so freaking good. I love it. That's why certain players, it don't matter how fast you run. If you have a burst like a guy like Swift has, it don't matter if he ran a 4.5. When you got a burst like that, it doesn't matter, because you can reach that top speed so quickly and hit his head on the goalpost. We need that threat that hit his head on the goalpost. So I'm thinking about Swift. I'm thinking about what's going to happen when the season starts. So the season starts, Kerryon will be the starting running back, especially with the COVID stuff happening. And Kerryon, I think he'll be doing pretty well. And then we'll balance Swift off of him. Now, I think the Chicago Bears game is a huge game. If we run the ball on them, we're going to be running the ball on everybody. Not every single team, but if we can run on them, we can run on anybody. We know who they got on the D-line in their front seven. I don't even have to say it. So that's a great test for us. I think the Packers is a really solid test for us as well. And when you're looking at what Swift is going to do, like I said, him and Kerryon will be on the field sometimes. So after Kerryon, gets those tough yards, gets those bruiser yards, catches you off balance, you throw Swift out there, you might even have him running between the tackles and have Ragnow, pulling along with the guards to make a big hole so he can get that big play. But just a lot of outside zone, and I think him and Kerryon are just going to be sharing carries like Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman did. I don't really know who was the number one back between them. I don't really care who's the number one back between Kerryon and Swift. I think it should start with Kerryon just because he has more experience. Swift doesn't know this offense, and we have the COVID, so it's messing up a little thing. So we bring in Swift slowly. After like the first 4 weeks, if he's clearly the better running back, and I mean like clear as day, then you throw him out there as getting more of the touches. But if it's still even, you balance it out. I think this 1-2 punch is going to be extremely great with both of them. But to me, all of this is on two things: the offensive line and their coordinators, and Darrell Bevell, and what Darrell Bevell is going to do. How are you going to turn the Detroit Lions into a running offense? How are you going to build something that's sustainable? That when you play the Lions, they got Swift and Kerryon. They got a tandem. We're going to have to account for the run. I mean, because Kerryon got the respect. He faced the most 8-man boxes. But how you going to have an 8-man box if we got Swift on the field too? Because what linebacker is going to cover him if they in the box? And that's why having Swift is good, because I know they always want to be on the field together, but if they on the field at the same time and you run the ball, you don't pass the ball. Have them on the field at the same time and you run the ball, it's going to be a nightmare for the opposing linebackers and defenders, because they're not going to know who to focus on. And then that's when you have Stafford start carving them up with them tight ends. And then once the tight ends let them have it, now you going over the top and doing verticals with Galladay and Marvin Jones, and it's looking all bad. And then when they still think they got something, now you throwing it underneath to Amendola, and then you revert right back to the running game and start pounding them again and just keep doing it over and over again until you establish something that breaks their will, gets us yards, and gets us touchdowns. And I think Darrell Bevell, in the second year of all of his offenses and his entire life in the NFL, that's the breakout year where it goes from like 0 to 100. So Swift is his guy. Swift is his running back. I think those offensive linemen that he wanted them, So I think this is what his plan was, and he can build something, and he will be able to build a sustainable rushing offense that's top 15 or better. Now, what will Swift do? My expectations aren't the highest. I have Swift around like 600, 700 yards and like 5 to 7 touchdowns. And then I have Kerryon maybe 800 or more, and then 5 to 7 touchdowns. But I just have I think we might, if we lucky, have 2,000 yards rushing between them. But I'm not really counting on it. I think the Stafford and the boys are still going to carry the team. But in order to run the football, we need Darrell Bevell to have the right philosophy and ingratiate that with the players. Let all the players know what they need to do. They need to execute. We have to stay healthy. And these O-linemen, all these new O-linemen that we got, going to have to show up year one. Because if they don't, we won't be able to run the football at all, and Stafford will have to do everything as usual. And that's not something that we want. That's never something that we want, Stafford carrying the entire team. Because it don't matter how many games we win, even if it's 11, the ref's going to screw us over if you can't run the football. But let me know what you guys think about Swift. What do you think he's going to do number-wise? Will he change the culture? Will he be the guy, or will it be by committee? Will it not just be Swift? Will it be Kerryon needed Swift to help him out? Just like Marvin Jones might have needed Kenny Golladay, or, Golden Tate needed Marvin Jones. You know how that happens. You need that other guy so everything can be easier for you. I do think we will have the best running game we've had. I mean, that's not saying much because it might be 15th. But our team has to stay healthy. Let me know what you think about this. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy 313J-Mo. Check us out on the Roundtable on Jim's channel, Lions on the Prowl. And just let me know what you think about Swift. What are your expectations for Swift to do this year for the Lions running that football?